Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is your instructor Joy. Let me first play a little tune for you. I'm gonna go backwards so that you can see my bow arm a little better. Alright. This was a little beginning of Kreutzer study number 2. A subscriber was wondering how one could practice, how one could apply this study when it comes to mastering bow strokes. Very good question. Thank you all of you for your continued support, as well as booking lessons with me, sending me donations, and I truly appreciate if you could also check out my other video at a link below at steamit.com. So since this is such a good study to work on different bow strokes, I decided to make several series of bow strokes. So I encourage you to keep following those videos as well. Today we're going to talk about very first exercise one could start. So when it comes to beautiful sound, when it comes to controlled sound, it has to do with placing the bow in the right spot, using the sounding point of each string. Also, keeping the weight and speed as steady as one wants. So how do we do that? First, try to have access of the whole bow. We do not always use whole bow, but it is a great tool if you know how to use whole bow from really frog to all the way tip. A lot of violinists tend to dismiss this part near the frog, and a lot of violinists just use about 2/3 or 3/4 of the bow. But if you have access of really near the frog, it has a great advantage of when it comes to longer bow and then powerful bow, and it just, why not take advantage of it? There's a reason why we have long bow. So that's how I like to start with my students. So now you want to start rather slower tempo and first figure out where your sounding point is. As you know, the sounding point on each string is different. G sounding point of about here, closer to the fingerboard. D a little away from the fingerboard. A little closer to the bridge, and E quite close to the bridge. So as you notice, the sounding point is different on each string. So if you're not sure, just by placing it and then find it where it sounds good. That's another way of doing it. Then once you understood the sounding point, the A string, sounding point of A string is about there. And then see if you can really place the bow really closer to the frog and then go all the way to the tip. Yeah, here, then again. The goal here is to keep the sound consistent without changing up and down, or the dynamics consistently. This would become a mistake. Yeah, because this part of the bow is much heavier than this part of the bow, which is tip, is much lighter. So if we do nothing, if we don't adjust the weight, this part of the bow near frog, it's rather heavy and loud, and near the tip it gets softer. So which means we need to tilt the bow tiny bit near the frog, like that, just to lighten the bow weight. Like that. And then as you get closer to the middle, then we need to start raising our elbow a little higher. Now we have to apply more weight to balance evenly, by making this part of the bow a little heavier. Yeah, like that. So we're gonna adjust the weight balancing by applying our weight by raising our elbow a bit. And then on top of that, you want to watch it so that make sure that your bow stays really parallel to the bridge, which is another important key of having nice sound. Yeah. And so, one more last thing. As you get towards tip, you might have realized your elbow goes slightly forward in order to keep it straight. If we just keep it somewhat same, the bow falls behind, and then you will see the sound losing. Yeah. So if you keep those three things, place the bow in the sounding point, adjust the weight of the bow by using your elbow height, and then upper half bow, move your elbow slightly forward this way to keep the bow straight, and you should be able to have a nice healthy long sound. And then you would use tenuto bow, which is in this case is number 11. You see the tenuto lines are the long lines above the note, and then that means completely connected. Separated bow, we're going to use whole bow, but try to keep the bow consistently going with a consistent weight and speed. Yeah, using whole bow. And then it may feel a little slow, but this is tempo that you want to start. And you play like this from beginning to the end. But remember, you don't have to do that at once. You can just do maybe 2-3 bars in this tenuto note without using whole bow while adjusting your weight, bow speed, and then keeping on the sounding point. But sometimes just 3-4 bars or 1 bar, whichever your brain or your body allows, is more efficient than trying to push it through from beginning to the end. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching and hope to see you again. Bye bye.